Welcome you all once again in lecture series Machining Science and Machine Tool. I am Amit Tiwari, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Suresh Gyan Bihar University, Jaipur. Today is the third lecture and the topic is Chip Formation and Cutting Tool. The objective of today's lecture is to describe with illustration the mechanics of chip formation in machining, ductile material and brittle material. Second is illustration and accesses geometrically characteristics of ductile chip, chip reduction coefficient, cutting ratio, shear angle and cutting strength. Third is identify and state the cause, characteristics and effect of build-up edge formation. And the fourth objective is to study of single point cutting tool geometry. Outcomes. At the end of the lecture, you will be able to understand, to analyze, evaluate and apply various measurements in chip formation. Second is to understand to different zones of heat transfer and to understand the various tool elements in single point cutting tool. Now let's start with the formation of chip. Basically, the cutting tool removes the metal from the chip piece in the formation of the chip. As the tool advances into the workpiece, the metal in front of the tool is compressed, and when the compression limit of the metal has been exceeded, it is separated from the workpiece and flow plastically in the form of chip. The plastic flow of the metal takes place in a localized region called shear plane, which exists or extends from the cutting edge obliquely up to the uncut surface in front of the tool. The cutting tool causes shear action bearing in the metal along the plane. The shearing of the metal in the process of chip formation does not, however, occur sharply across a straight line, and the grain of the metal in front of the cutting edges of the tool start elongating along the line LM and continuing to do so until they are completely deformed along the line NP. The region between the line LM and NP is called shear zone. After passing out the shear zone, the deformed metal in the form of chip slides along the tool face due to the velocity of the tool, and the shear zone is treated as a shear plane for the mathematical analysis. Every machining operation involves the formation of chip, the nature of which depends upon the operation, properties of the workpiece, material, and cutting conditions. So basically, what happened in the chip formation? I'm just showing in the diagram. This is the formation of chip and dividing into the category of three. First formation is that phase. We can say this is the starting point where the tool material, tool cutting edge is strike over the face and just compress at the cutting edge to the workpiece area, and starting the removal of material from the surface of workpiece, and the formation of chip are generated. You can see in this diagram A that this is a chip area and this is tool and this is the base bottom. We can say this is a workpiece area. So I just told you that in previous lecture, lecture number 2, that is the workpiece area that is covered in the plan. We can say the shear plan, and this zone where the starting the removing of the excess of material, they can the shear plan. So basically, the what happened in this diagram, the standard area are mentioned here to the plastic zone. Initially, starting the elastic zone and after the cover into the plastic region, which will be not covered recovered by the removing of the forces. So whenever the material start to remove, it will start to convert the plastic to elastic zone, and after end of the or completely convert into the chip, it will definitely or it will completely convert it into the plastic region. That is will not regain after the removing the forces or after removing the tool from the tool workpiece material. So basically, what happened during this phenomena, the C diagram shows that there is a line zone that is M or L or N or L. There is a M or L indicate that where the place is starting to the shear, and L or P as indicate that the shearing of the material and the formation of the chip are generated with the cutting tool forces are act on the surface of workpiece material. So with this diagram, the generation of the chip are starting to formation. But this is not depending on this is not clearly indicate that what conditions are occur for formation of chip. That means continuous chip, discontinuous chip, or build up chip. So what happened basically in the chip formation, we just identify how the chip will start to occur, because whenever the tool is striking or to compress the cutting edge to the work with material, that's our depth of cut are increased, and to increasing the removing of a material. So with the removing of the material, we will shown that the formation of the chip are generated on the and sliding over the face of the tool. You can see these are the sliding face over the tool are sliding slide here, and will remove the material from the formation of chip. So this is the diagram we have to show the how the chip formation. So I hope you understand the chip formation. Basically, it is simple, not a very difficult task to understand. And basically, it's simple. The chip formation is you can just keep in mind. Just for example, I am just showing the example in lecture one, that is introduction section, giving the example to cut an apple, and we use for the tool as a knife. Okay, so whenever what do we do? The apple, you can cut the apple with the help of the tool, and during the cutting, what happen? The tool easily cut the material because the workpiece material is softer. So it is also depending on the workpiece property, which I am just mentioning all my lecture last previous lecture 1, 2, and 3. That we will indicate that if the workpiece material is not harder than the tool material, then it easily to cut, and there is no any difficulty we will be faced during the machining operation. So basically, what happened that every machining operation and what type of operation you will be performed, it is also dependent on the surface quality, because if you use the convective machine and non-convective machine, it is also depending on the some vibrations, because during the conventional machine there is a lot of vibration and handled by the person, okay, or the lab technician, which is operating the this type of operation. But in the non-convection machine, the CNC milling machine, if you say that if you first of all you put the coding and encoding, and will perform automatically at the process will read the command by the system. So it is the difference between the quality of product will be produced. So some of the chip are produced with the formation of continuous. Some of the chip are formed for formation of discontinuous. Some of the chip are formed as a continuous with build up chip. It is totally depending upon the what type of forces are applied, and how much quantity of forces applied on the workpiece material. Because if we use the ductile material, then the continuous chip will be formed, because ductile material have a hardness and toughness are good. So that why it's easily to continuously formation of the chip will be held on. But in case of a brittle material, then the number of breaking of the material will be break with the formation of the chip as a discontinuous formation. So this is not required for the good machinability. If you want to make that your machinability will be good, and good surface quality you want to achieve, so you must be keep in mind that the machining operation is very necessary to identify, and the machining tool will be identified is the most important to, because with the help of the tool you will cut the workpiece. So basically, in the chip formation, it simply we can say that the material will remove from the work surface with the help of the cutting tool, and the formation of chip start to formed where the plastic region reached, because if the material have a tendency to regain the shape after removing the material, that is not say that this is a completely deformation. But when the material is not when the material is removed, and after that it do not regain the original shape, it we can say that the plastic zone achieved. So when you reach the plastic zone, it will definitely say that the chip formation are over. So now there is a different types. So there is a different type of chips. Are first chip continuous chip, second is discontinuous chip, and the third one is the build-up chip. So continuous chip you can see in this diagram, that is the continuous chip formation is the formation of continuous in a single layer. You can see here this is a single layer of chip are generated when during the metal cutting with the help of a cutting tool to the workpiece material, and this is the formation of a chip with a single layer are formed. So that's why we can say that this is a continuous chip. In the second diagram, we can see here this is the formation of chip, but there are some brackets are here. So there are the different formation different between the chip and continuous chip and the break. The discrete chip is the difference between the material of the workpiece also depending on them. With that ductile material used for the continuous chip formation, if you want, and if you want, we do not require the discontinuous chip, but certainly if you use the brittle material for the machining, then this type of chip will be formed. Because most of the time, what happens that continuous chip or discontinuous chip are the sometimes it will be required, but most of the time it will not indication of the good machinability. And the C diagram that indicate that the build-up chip. Build-up chip that we can say that the basically good machinability index, or we can say that if you want to achieve a good machinability, that is the feed rate or the depth of cut is the most important parameter to identify that. Whenever you cut the machining or whenever you use the machining operation, you must be keep in mind that the cutting speed will be high, feed rate will be high, but the depth of cut will be reduced because the more of the depth of cut increase, the heat or the temperature of the forces are increased on that particular area, which will be generated the build-up chip. Because how we can identify that this is a build-up chip? Because the formation of the chip build-up chip is also the single layer, and as well as same as the continuous chip. But there is one difference between the continuous and the build-up chip is that you can see here these are some blackets are formation on the surface of the chip and the tool interface between. So this indicate that these are the continuous chip. Obviously, it is continuous chip, but this is a build-up chip. This is a burnt chip, which is not required for the good machinability. It will reduce the quality of the tool surface and the quality of the cutting edge of the cutting tool, which is not required for the machining purpose. So basically, whenever you are doing a machinability, you must be required that if you are not providing the coolant or maintain the temperature of workpiece and the tool, so definitely the build-up chip will be generated and will reduce the quality surface for work material, as well as we can say that the tool material will be chances the damage or we will replace with the existing one. So these are the formation of a chip and the types of the chip I'm just discussed you with you. Once again, just keep in mind that basically what happened during the chip formation, easily the chip will be formed, but it depends on the continuous chip form or as a build-up or a discrete chip will form. It is depending on totally the cutting parameters. It is depending upon the temperature maintaining zone, because we know that the 80% of energy is converted into the heat in case of the continuous chip formation. So these are the some disadvantages you will be follow in the discontinuous chip formation and the build-up chip formation. So generally we require the continuous chip in the good machinability, and it will have generated on the ductile material. And in case we can say the brittle material we used, that is we can say which have not harder than harder toughness and high thermal coefficient and high thermal conductivity. Everything is below the mechanical properties. So we can say that is a brittle material. If we use it, then the discontinuous chip will be generated at the surface of tool. Now, in the case the deep study about the chip formation, the chip first of all, let the continuous chip. It is a chip are provided the while machinery more ductile material, and this type of chip is most desirable. The continuous chip, which is like a ribbon flow along the rack phase, production of continuous chip is possible because of ductility of metal. About 95% of the power expended for the metal powering is used in the deformation take place in the shear zone, and this is the work required to form the remove the chip and identically plastic deformation of the surface layer of the finished workpiece. The remaining power consumed about 5% of the total is expended in the stored and elastic plastic region are reduced residual stresses and the workpiece friction. That is indicated in the diagram of also shown in this type of whatever other discussing in this theory. That is a workpiece here, and you can strike the workpiece, and the cutting edge will start in the remove of material. You can this is the feed rate Okay, and the formation of chip are starting to this way, and you can see this is a continuous formation of chip. These are the continuous chip are formed in a single layer. That's why we requiring for the good machinability, and ductile material is required for generation of the chip, continuous chip. These are the some examples I am showing you for understanding the better phenomena of chip generation. There's a special note we require to keep in mind during the continuous chip formation. The chip are formed largely by shearing action and compressive stresses on the metal in front of the tool. Obviously, the compressive stresses are the greatest, fastest from the cutting tool and are balanced by the tensile strength in the zone nearest the tool. Hence, the chip curves outwardly or outward from the cutting surfaces. So it will be achieved by the giving the compressive stresses on the metal in the front of the tool, and sharing the action phenomena will convert the plastically convert this zone on the chip formation. So some ideal condition that to promote the continuous chip in metal cutting. If you want to prepare the continuous chip and remove the metal with the formats of continuous, you must be keep in mind that some following conditions, that is a small chip thickness. If the chip thickness is small, it will indicate that the continuous chip will be chances to formation. Second is small, the cutting edge. Cutting edge will be small. There is a not larger cutting edge will be used for during the machining. Larger rake angle requirement is the most important. The rake angle required is very large because during the and positive rake angle and the larger the rake angle, the maximum chances that your machinability will be good, or it will say that good metal cutting operation will perform. Next one is the high cutting speed. Obviously, during the high cutting speed, you require that feed rate is high, but the depth of cut will be low due to the depth of cut. Compressive stress is more increasing, and the depth of cut increasing with the thickness of the chip will increase, and we require the small chip thickness. This is a sign of a good condition, or we can say the continuous chip. And the fifth one is less friction between the chip tool interface through the efficient lubrication. Because less friction we require for the chip tool interface, and we require for the efficient lubrication for maintaining the temperature or zone of chip tool interface. If otherwise we do not maintain the chip tool interface temperature zone, it will increasing the continuous bit build-up chip, and which is not required for the good machinability. So whenever you require the good machinability, it will indicate that we know that the lubricant be required. Due to this, we prevent from the material we damage, we prevent from the cutting tool will damage, or we prevent from the burning of the surface of the tool interface. We prevent from the lubrication purpose. So efficient lubricant will required to prevent the chip tool interference during to construction of or preparing of continuous chip. And the last 6 months is ductile work material we used. Basically, if we select the ductile material and for machining, it will generate the continuous chip definitely, because it has some property to generate the continuous chip, because the material is some have a special hardness, toughness, and rigidity, and some ductility to be rupture the metal without the failure, or fracture are generated on the surface of. It is all these type of precautions will be taken during the, if you want a continuous chip or we want a metal cutting, and the sign of good machinability. So these 6 points will be keep in mind during the machinability. Some conditions occur to promote the continuous chip in the metal cutting. So the chip formation are most useful chip is the surface quality obtained in the good machining with the help of the cutting tool is smooth, and it is also help in the higher the tool life or low power consumption. However, because of the lower coil of the chip disposal is a problem. So basically, what happened that during the machinability, some of the maximum compressive force are occur, and with the high compression of the forces, we require that the depth of cut is increased. If the support depth of cut increase, what happened? The depth of cut, with the increasing depth of cut, the thickness of the chip will be increased, and with increasing the chip thickness, there the too much amount of heat generated at the press, because the compressive stresses are increased, and with this this continuous chip, or we can say that continues with the build-up chip will be formation. So keep in mind during the ductile metal if we used, then are the factors we require to understand the formation of the continuous chip. Second one is a discontinuous chip. That means these chip are usually produced while cutting more brittle material like grey cast iron, bronze, and brass and hard brass. In this type, the chip produced in the form of the discontinuous segment, they form material instead of following continuously, get ruptured periodically. Discontinuous chip are easier from the viewpoint of the chip disposal. However, the cutting forces become unstable and with the variation constant with the fracturing cycle. And also we can set a generation of the provide good better surface finishing. However, in case of ductile material, they cause poor surface finishing and a low tool life because we know that the ductile metal have a much harder. So that's why it will be difficult to providing the good surface finishing with the continuous chip. So discontinuous chip are likely to be produced under the following condition. So when discontinuous chip will occur, so this are diagram indicate that you can see here chip formation of chip, but in the some breaks are not a single layer are formed in the chip formation. So these three breakage are shown that these are continuous chip formation. So why it is happening? Because the low cutting speed are here and a small the radical length and higher the depth of cut. So due to this, the cheap discount chip will be produced and it is not requirement for the machinability. So whenever you achieve the good machinability or we require the continuous chip. So the higher the cutting speed, higher the rake angle, or small the depth of cut we required. So these are the some opposite section in the case we can say that lower the we can say uh, lower the thickness and higher the cutting speed. In this case, this condition we require the low cutting speed, a small rake angle, and a higher the depth of cut. If we required this type of condition and we produce such type of parameter, so definitely we will be this condition will be occur and which is not required for our good functionality. And this is the wastage of workpiece as well as we can say that the time consuming parameter we use. So for preventing this type of problem, we required a high cutting speed, high rake angle, and a smaller depth of cut. Second one is that build-up chip because build-up chip is also the form of a continuous chip, but there are some different parameters are dependent on them to generate that type of chip. Because what happens generally when the machining ductile material contain condition of high local temperature and extreme pressure in the cutting zone and also high friction in the tool chip interface may causes the work material to adhere or weld to the welding edges of the tool, forming the build-up chip edge. That is, we can say that this causes the finished surface to be rough. However, since the cutting is being made by the build-up edges and not the actual tool tip, the life of the cutting tool increasing while cutting with the build-up edge, and that's why the build-up edge is not harmful while roughing the machining. In general, cutting speed and high speed and small rectangle be required for the build-up edge formation. Present the build-up of formation increasing with the power consumptions also. So these are the some fundamental required for the build-up edge formation. With these we what the difference between the continuous and the build-up chip is the smallest difference is that these are the formation of build-up within single layer, but there are some burning of the chip are on the surface of steel tube interface because these are the chip tool interface have the formation of build-up pitch and the burning are here. These are the unwanted burning because due to the maximum amount of compressive stress are generated, and due to this compressive stress, the high temperature region are generated on the surface interference of the chip and tool material. This is not required for our machining. This is not required for machining of it will not indicate that this is a good machining or yes definitely it is a cheap for continuous chip formation, but with the build-up chip build-up it that means it is a formation of high temperature or high reason we act on the surface of tool and chip. So these all are the fundamentals I'm discussed you regarding to the formation of a chip and the types of chip formation, that is continuous chip formation. If you want to continuous chip formation which is required and desirable property, we achieve by the ductile material. But if you select the ductile material, that you will not achieve the surface quality because surface quality have a hardness. And if you want to select the brittle metal, you will achieve that it is a good surface quality and low power consumption. But this kind of chill will be generated, and which is not required for our good machining. So there are some pros and cons of each and every we can set a chip formation. And the build up chip will require some time, but it is also indicate that due to the increase in the high temperature region, the wastage of material removal, and we can say that very dangerous affected to the tool life to reduce the tool quality by the build up edge. Now to indicate the cutting tool, now just discussing the some classifications of the cutting tool are as follows. That is single point cutting tool and the multi point cutting tool. The single point cutting tools basically we can why we can say single point cutting tool, because the cutting edge of the this tool is only one. That's why we can say that this is a single point cutting tool, and such as the tool lathe, we can say used for the tool, shepherd tool, planer tool, and boring tool. So these all are the tool have used as a single point cutting tool for the operation, because they have a single cutting edge. That's why we can say a single point cutting tool. Another one is the multi-point cutting tool, that is solid tool, brass tool, inserted bit tool. These all are the multi-point cutting tools used for the operation of a milling cutter, drilling, broaching, and grinding wheel, etc. So whenever you are doing the operation on lathe, shaper, planer, and boring, you must be selected for the single point cutting tool, because it is more efficient and it is requirement for that type of machining. And if you want to cut the multi-point, if you want to work on the milling cutter and drilling and watches and grinding wheels, so you will be able to understand now that the selection of the cutting tool is important for while doing machining. So with the help of the cutting tool discussion, I'm just giving you some just a unique things. That is, we can understand the why we can select the single point cutting tool, and when we select the multi point cutting tool. It is depending on the tool operation, depending on the machining used for that particular operation. Because because every machine have a different cutting tool. Obviously, we can say if you use a lathe tool, sharp tool, so we required for the single point cutting tool. If you used for the milling cutter, drilling, and process grinding mill, so we will prefer to the multi point cutting tool. A multi point cutting tool have a different type. That is a solid tool, brass tool, inserted tool bed. So this type of tool we required depending on the application and depending on the requirement of the machining. Now this is some structure of to how to we judge or we can indicate this is single or multi-point cutting tool. So you can see this is single point cutting tool. Why it is called single? Because this you can see this point. This point is a single cutting edge. This point is a single cutting edge. That's why we can we know the this is a single cutting tool. And with the help of this cutting edge, you will able to cut the material from the workpiece. Without this, if for example, if this cutting edge will reduce and reduce their surface or wearing the surface of this cutting edge, so it will not able to cut the material in from the surface of the workpiece, or will not provide the good quality surface of machining, and surface finishing will be achieved as a good. But because of this, while with the help of this cutting tool, or with the help of this cutting edge, we will able to cut the material. But if suppose this cutting edge is not sharp, and they are wear too much, and the too much amount of heat are generated at the place, and the burning the surface area of this cutting edge. So we will want to change the material. We will change the single point cutting tool rather than to use the existing one, because this existing one are damaged and you will continuously use, then definitely you will not providing the good service finishing, and ultimately the workpiece and will damage, and it is not required for our machining operation. In case the multi-point cutting tool, because you can see in this diagram, there are the multiple cutting edges of, that's why we can see the multi-point cutting tool. You can see this is a multiple cutting edge. You can this is 1, 2, 3, 4. The number of the cutting edges are available in the surface of this tool. That's why we can say the multi-point cutting tool, and only the single cutting edge are available on the surface of this tool. That's why we can say the single point cutting tool. Now the single point cutting tool have a geometry now discussed here for the some to understand the basic structure of single point cutting tool in detail. So the figure A shows a single point right hand cutting tool, and along through those having the traditionally being produced from the solid tool steel bar that have been so largely replaced by the carbide. and other insight on the various shaping sizes in section B. So basically what happened, this is a single point cutting tool, and you can see in this diagram there are some nomenclatures are providing here for tool geometry, and tool angles are here mentioned for understand the tool geometry. So you can see here this is the cutting edge. You can see this line indicate the cutting edge, where with the help of this cutting edge you will able to remove the material from the work surface. Okay. On the below of the, you can see here this is the flank section are here. Flank section used for when you are doing a feed rate, the metals are removed from that area with the direction of this feed rate, and with the help of the flank we will prevent the material of the tool from damage. This is a shank portion. These are from body. We can say this is a body of front starting upper part of the body of the tool. You can see here these are the face radius where the chip or formation on the surface of the that we can say these are the formation of chip area where the chip are sliding over the surface of the face of the tool. And these are the some different angles. The end cutting edge angle you can see here, end cutting edge angle, sine cutting edge angle. This clearance from the, we can say that is a notch radius, and the face perpendicular to the axis of the panel to the cutting zone. These are the clearance angle we occur. So these are some geometrically we use, geometrically we understand. If you do not understand the proper geometry, so you will not achieve the good surface quality, because first of all you understand the geometry of the cutting tool, and with the geometry of the cutting tool if you understand properly, it will easy to understand how we can achieve the good machinability, and how you can justify that from that particular parameter if we selected for with operation, and with the help of the cutting tool we will be cut this type of material for machining operation, or turning, pressing, drilling, milling, whatever the material you will select, you will be achieve the good machinability and good surface finishing. Now there are two elements. That is a tool element. What type of tool elements are in the single point cutting tool are discussed in now detail. The first is shank. That is I am showing you this is a shank. This is upper portion of the tool. The basically it can be the main body of the tool, and one at the one end which the cutting portion is formed. You can see that this is the cutting portion is formed at the one end. Okay, or we can say that these are the body of the tool single point cutting tool. Second is the flank. The surface, or we can surfaces below and adjacent to the cutting edge is called the flank of the tool. Where is flank? Flank, these are the section. We can say this is the flank portion here. This is the bottom and the side portion of this you can see here. This indicates the surface and surfaces below at the adjacent of the cutting edge. This is the cutting adjacent side of the cutting edge. We can say the flank of the tool. Face, that means the surface on which the chip slide is called the face of the tool. Face, that means the surface on the which chip slides is known as the face of the tool. These are the face where the chip slides when the material is removed. With the help of this tool, the cutting edge, the material is removed and the chip are formed and slides over the surface of the face of the surface of the tool. That's why we can say this is the face section, where chip slides over the surface of the tool, facing of the tool. Heel, that is the intersection of the flank and the base of the tool. These are the some intersection point where the flank and the base of the tool we mentioned on the diagram. Nose is the basically what is nose. Nose you can see this is the nose portion, and what is not what the working of the nose is. It is the point where the side cutting edge and the end cutting edge intersect. Where side cutting edge and the end cutting edge intersect to each other. That's why we can say nose. The side cutting edge and the end cutting edge. You can see here these are the side cutting edge portion is like one, this, and these are the end cutting edge, side cutting edge, end cutting edge. In the same direction, you can see here this portion. We can say the nose radius. Neck, that means the portion which is reduced by the section, the portion which is reduced by the section to form the necessary cutting edge, and also known as the called the neck. The portion which is reduced in section for necessary cutting edges of the angle we can say neck. Cutting edge, practically it is edge of the face of the tool which remove the material from the workpiece. It is the edge on the face of the tool which remove the material from the workpiece, which is helpful to cut the material from the their to the compressed their forces, and to provide the forces on a particular area to edge to face to cut the removal of the workpiece. Now these are some material removal process I am mentioning here is a flow chart to understand the material removal process. First of all, what happened here, the material removal process have two category classified in traditional and advanced form. Traditionally have some two category sub parts, that is the cutting and finishing, and each cutting and finishing have some different subcategories, that is the cutting have circular shape and other prismatic and shape you will provide. In a finishing, you will be divided into two subcategory, that is the bonded abrasive and loose abrasive. Where the circular have a option are that is a material are performed on the different operation, that is turning, drilling, and boning are under the category of circular shape, and under the category of prismatic shape, that is the milling, planing, shaping, gear cutting, and broaching are the operation are performed under the prismatic shape. Where the bonded abrasive, that is grinding, honging, coated, and abrasive are under the category of bonded abrasive, and the loose abrasive are under the category of lapping and polishing area. Where to cut the material and where to understand the find the basic diagram of flow rate of the flow diagram of material removal processes. So with the help of the material removal processes, you will be able to understand that which process you used for which type of operation will be selected for that particular shape if you want to provide it. So if you want to provide the circular shape, so you will be used for turning, drilling, boring. If you will provide the lapping and polishing, so you will select the loose abrasive. If you will provide the prismatic shape, then you will be select the operation of milling, planning, shaping, gearing, cutting, and broaching. So these are the some process and material removal structure of to remove the material from the surface of the workpiece. With the help of this, we will understand the turning operations and really understand the removal of material. With the help of this, there is one another process advance. In advance, that's what happen. Some non-conventional machines are available. That is electric discharge machine, non-conductive, non-destructive techniques are basically used for that type of machine. That is CNC machines, NC machines, and DNC machines are available for this purpose. Traditionally, we use for the conventional milling, and drilling. All these are the conventional use, and in advance we can say that the use for the numerical control. So with the help of this material removal process, I hope to understand what type of shape you will provide, and for that what type of operation you will select for this particular material removal process. Now there are some multiple choice questions are asking for this particular lecture to understand and what you learned from this lecture. The first question is to that on the front on the screen, that is horizontal forces exerted by tool on the workpiece is known as. The options are cutting forces, B frictional resistance, C backing of force, D shearing force. The correct answer of the force is option is A, that is the cutting force. So basically the cutting forces are the horizontal force exerted by the tool on the workpiece because we know that during the machining process what happen, you will cut the material from the you will cut the workpiece material from the tool, and you will provide the feed rate at the horizontal section. You can see the horizontal section will provide the feed rate, and with the help of this cutting force you will be remove the material from the workpiece. Second is the metal resistance to shear during the chip formation is known as. So the question arises, is the metal resistance to shear during the chip formation is known as. The options are cutting forces, B frictional resistance, C backing up forces, D shear forces. So the correct answer of this question is D. It is shear force. So basically what happens, the metal when resisted, when the shear force is too high, when the shear forces is too high, then during the chip formation, the metal will resist from the shear, and it will transform from the elastic zone to the plastic zone. And when the plastic zone is will achieve, it will not regain the original shape again to the workpiece, because that way the chip formation will be started. So for the chip formation, we require the shear forces to high. If the shear force is not providing the too much, that way how we can generate the chip at the formation where on the surface of material removal. So for material removal, you must be identified that shear force is most important to shearing the material or to formation of the chip formation, we required such type of forces for metal resistance to shear. Third question is the force exerted by the working piece on the chip normal direction of the shear plane. The force exerted by work piece on chip is normal direction of the shear plane known as the options are cutting forces, B frictional forces that is resistance to friction, C backing up forces, D shear forces. So the correct answer of this question is C, that is backing up force. That is what is backing up force? Backing up force basically the force exerted by the workpiece on chip in the normal direction of shear plane. This is basically happening on the backup force. Backing force, that means we can say that the force resistance to shearing the forces, which is not required for the compressible stress. If we increase the compressive stress, so it will reduce some type of forces and for prevent the material from the tool and is to prevent the material from the workpiece. It will happening during the machining. Sometime that the backup force are generated, and with this the force are most exerted by the workpiece on the surface for formation of the direction of shear plane. Next is which of the following assumption is not valid for the merchant circle diagram. So we're not discussing in this lecture to merchant circle diagram, but there's the connection of this merchant circle diagram to the continuous build-up or discontinuous chip. We will be discussing some later for the merchant circle diagram, but in the case today we are discussing about for the some chip formation. So which type of assumption we require to, which is not valid for the merchant circle diagram? So the options are continuous chip, discontinuous chip, the continuous edge remains sharp, and D no builder patch formation. So the correct answer of this question is B, that is discontinuous chip. Obviously, we do not require the discontinuous. We do not require the discontinuous chip because it is not required for good machinability. It is the wastage of material, and the time consuming and the power losses will be occur under that type of formation of the chip. So this is not our requirement. We prevent this type of chip by increasing the we can cutting speed, we can increasing the rack angle, or we can reducing the depth of cut. So with this we can prevent the continuous chip, and the formation of continuous chip we generally be required, and sometimes we generally be required cutting edges with the remaining sharp edges. So all these parameters except the discontinuous chip is the not valid answer for the merchant circuit assumption. Now, fifth question is in metal cutting operation, the maximum heat, that is 80 to 80% is generation in which zone? That is the options are the first is the shear zone, B the chip tool interface zone, C the tool work interface zone, and D is the none of the above. So the correct answer of the question is A, that is the shear zone. And the shear zone is the area where the maximum number of heat is generated, that is 80 to 85%. And where the shear zone indicate, the shear zone indicate on the chip tool interface, where the metal will remove permanently and is convert into the chip. So that where the metal is starting to remove and convert into chip, this portion are indicate that this is a shear zone. And at the time we can say the maximum number of heat is increasing, approximation 80 to 85% of heat are generated at the added zone. The next question is the forces required for the metal cutting operation. The forces required for the metal cutting operations are as follows. That is the options are A is increase with increasing in the feet of the tool and decreasing with the increasing in the depth of the tool cut. That means what forces we required for the metal cutting. If we increasing with the increasing the feet of the tool and decreasing with the increasing the depth of cut. First option is. Second, B is decreasing with increasing in the feet of the tool and increasing with the increasing in the depth of the cut. C is increasing with increasing both the feet of the tool and the depth of the cut. And the D is decrease with the increasing in both the feet of the tool and the depth of the cut. So the correct answer of this question is the C, that is increase with the increasing in the both the feet of the tool and the depth of the cut, which is the force required for the metal cutting operation. Generally, we require to increasing the feed rate, and if we increase the feed rate, then we increase the feed depth of cut also. But if we decrease in the feed rate, increase the feed depth of cut, which is not required for the machining metal cutting for the required operation for metal cutting operation. So keep in mind while during a machining or doing metal cutting. So whenever you continuously speed or maintain the speed of the workpiece, of providing the high speed, so we remind also that feed rate of the tool will be also increased, and with that the depth of cut will be increased. We do not require a low depth of cut, because with the low depth of cut we affected the too much forces and we reduce the surface quality of the material during the metal cutting operation. Seventh is a continuous. Seventh question is continuous sheep are formed during metal cutting operation due to the options are A, ductile work material, B, large rake angle, C, high cutting speed, D, all of the above. So the correct answer of this question is D. All are the factors are basically used for the achieve continuous chip formation. Because ductile material will be required for the continuous chip, as we discussed in this lecture, in the portion of continuous chip formation. With the help of ductile material, we will generate the continuous chip, and larger the rake angle we required. The larger the rake angle we required, we will also generate the continuous chip, and obviously the cutting speed will required so high. That's why we can generate the continuous chip formation for the during the metal cutting operation. So as per the conditions, all are same, and it is suitable for the continuous chip formation for the during the metal cutting. That the all of the options are connected, and with the help of this, we will generate the number of continuous formation are generated with the mentioning all the type of parameters. Eighth is that is in the metal cutting process with the compression. In the metal cutting process, when the compression limit of the metal in front of the cutting tool has been exceeded, then it is separated from the workpiece and follow. The options are elastically, B, plastically, C, rigidly, and D, none of the above. So the correct answer of the question is B, that is plastically. The question is that you just keep in mind and read the question once again to understand what was the questioning is asking. It is in the metal cutting process when the compression limit of the metal is front of the cutting tool has been extended. When the compression of limit is extended of the cutting tool, it is more compression are forces are generated on the workpiece place. And what happened? That is a plastically we generation stage are occur where the completely material will remove from the surface of a workpiece and it completely convert it into the we can say completely convert into the chip. So when the too much compressive force are exerted into the workpiece material, and the workpiece started to separate from the layer of the workpiece at that place with the help of the cutting tool, and we generally find that the plasticity zone will occur. And during this plastically, we just indicate that the material will completely transform to the chip formation and will neither we come back after removing the forces, or it will completely transfer to the plastically. So this type of conditions are occur when the maximum compressive stress or limit cross to the workpiece and plastically convert to material permanently deformation. Ninth question is the point at which the cutting tool reaches beyond which it will be not functional satisfactory until it is gray ground is called as the options are tool wear, B, tool failure, C, tool diffusion, D, none of the above. So the correct option is B, that is tool failure. The question is the point at which the cutting tool reach beyond which is not functionally satisfactory. When the tool is not providing the satisfactory finishing, when the condition is when the tool is failure. When the tool is completely failure, it will not provide a satisfactory finishing. It will not provide the satisfactory metal cutting. So these all are happening when the tool will failure. So that's why the cutting tool we require the sharpening, or we require we require the good machinability for the tool material will be selected more harder than the workpiece. So that's why we indicate and to we just learn in this unit in this lecture the material of the selection of type of the material we require the most of the important parameter to prevent the tool from the failure. The 10th question is which type of tool have wide application on length machine. So the options are single point, B. Multi-point. C. Both single point and multi-point, and D. None of the mention. So the correct answer of this question is A. That is single point. Single point multi-point the cutting tool is not sufficient for the lathe machine, and because the single point has a single cutting edge, that why it will operate on the lathe machine to perform the operation, and there is application widely application on the lathe machine. So these are the some questionnaires I am asking to for understanding the lecture. Now at the end, these are the some books I am preferring to you for reading or for it out, or to making the notes, or for getting the knowledge about detail in the respective lecture. So these are the some books names and the author regarding to this book and the publisher of this particular book. So these are some standard publisher in the very reputed author, and books are mentioned for getting the knowledge about this particular lecture series, machining science and machine tool. So if you any doubt, any query, you will be asked to me by my dropping my mail on my email ID is amit.tiwari@mycanva.com, and you will be contact me on my mobile number also 8690319448. I hope you understand this lecture, and from the we will just try to understand that this lecture will basically motive to formation of chip. We will prevent the type of chip formation with the maintain the cutting parameter and the workpiece material and the tool material also. So thank you so much for listening patiently, and for if any doubt, they will be asked to me while making the drop the mail. Thank you so much. Thank you.